Let's get it.
Praise the Most High, family. Once again, it's another gorgeous day here in the Carolinas, and I'm so glad to see it. I do hope everyone is well, and that you, like myself, are able to get out and enjoy this beautiful day. Get some fresh air, sunshine, and like myself, for a change today, we're getting in some exercise. I call myself getting out, get me a few miles in, Most High willing. As soon as I did, it started raining on me, sprinkling. We're still gonna ride to the other part from Revolution from Clanton Road Park to Revolution, which is like a mile away, and back. Just something light to get back started. I did want to read over a script that I had in one of my apps, and the Most High really spoke to me about it. But concerning the script, and it's simple. It's Matthew 16:25, and it says, "If you try to hang on to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake, you will save it." And whose sake is that? The Most High's. And His righteousness, His way of doing things. And I wanted to read one more text from the other app I use. And we'll see how both scripts coordinate. Come together to give us a great idea for today. And I'm gonna give a little background. This is Job speaking to his so-called friends who was giving him the blues because he was sick, because he altogether had, like the text says, afflictions. Many afflictions hit Job. But the text also says that the Most High delivers us out of them all. But we're going to look at Job 12:9 through whenever the Most High say that's enough. Well, we better go and look on 8, because it gives context to 9. "Speak to the earth and it will instruct you." And let me say, this is after they was giving him a whole lot of wisdom about why he was in the shape and the position he was in. So he comes back at the beginning of 9 and shares some stuff with him. But we're going to get on down to verse 8 of chapter 9, of chapter 12, my fault. "Speak to the earth and it will instruct you. Let the fish in the sea speak to you. For they all know that my disaster has come from the hand of the Most High. For the life of every living thing is in His hand, and the breath of every human being. The ears test the words it hears, just as the mouth distinguishes between foods. Wisdom belongs to the age, and understanding to the old. But true wisdom and power are found in the Most High. Counsel and understanding are His. What He destroys cannot be rebuilt. When He puts someone in prison, there is no escape. If He holds back the rain, the earth becomes a desert. If He releases the waters, they flood the earth. Yet strength and wisdom are His. Deceivers and deceived are both in His power. He leads counselors away, stripped of good judgment. Wise judges become fools. He removes the royal robes of kings. They are led away with robes around their waist, with ropes around their waist. He leads priests away stripped of status. He overthrows those with long years in power. He silences the trusted advisor and removes the insight of the elders. He pours disgrace upon princesses, and disarms the strong. He uncovers mysteries hidden in darkness. He brings light to the deepest gloom. He builds up nations and he destroys them. He strips kings of understanding. And leaves them wandering in a pathless wasteland. They grope in the darkness without a light. He makes them stagger like drunkards. Oh boy. And this was a powerful text when I first read it. It says in 9, "For they all know that my disaster has come from the hand of the Most High. For the life of every living thing is in his hand, and the breath of every human being." Pardon me. And that text really goes with the first one we read over, because the first one says if you try to save your life, you will lose it. But if you give your life for the Most High's sake, then you will save it. But what that's saying to me is that if you try to wiggle and maneuver outside of the Most High's righteousness or righteous plan for your life, then you're going to get disaster. But if you're going to let him do what he has to do, then you will benefit from it. Just as Job came out on the other side with double everything he had before. And no, it was still a sad occasion because he lost his children. But at the same time, the Most High gave him more. And he understood that, and he said that the Most High giveth and the Most High taketh away. He also said he will see, in my own words, the goodness of the Most High in the land of the living. I think as David said. But Job said something of the like. He said, even if I die and my body decay, I will once again see the Most High in this land. So he was speaking that faith that if he died, the Most High would somehow resurrect him, just as Abraham had to say concerning Isaac. That if the Most High told him to sacrifice his son, and he did, and that son would have to be raised from the dead in order for the Most High to keep his promise. Because the Most High had already told him that Isaac was the man. So we must hang in there with the Most High today. Even if we're in circumstances that don't look pleasant, don't feel pleasant, don't sound pleasant, and yes indeed, don't even smell pleasant. All of our senses are telling us that we're outside the Most High's plan for our lives. And see, family, I could have gotten that way when after I had that stroke. But right after I had that stroke, the Most High reminded me of what he had told me 2 months ago. No matter what you see, that I'm with you. I never leave you or forsake you. And he told me some things, you're going to see some things that's really going to shake your faith. And see, this is how the Most High does his men. He'll tell them, well, let's say he'll prepare them for what he's about to let happen in their lives. And no, it's not pleasant. Most of the time it's not pleasant because he must test that faith. Oh boy. And he's gonna get He gonna get the testing out of you. I mean, he gonna get the faith out of you that he's in, basically, what's the word we use from time to time? That he's what's the word, family? Invested in you. Yes, he's gonna get that back out of you that he invested in you, because he needs a profit. So don't think strange. There you go. These hard trials, tribulations you're going through, because they're just there to test your faith. But afterwards, you will come out shining as gold. And see, now I have a testimony. Before I didn't have a testimony, and that's what the Most High told me. He said, you need a testimony so you can speak indeed the truth when you say you know me and you know my ways, and that I know you and know your ways, because you're approving. Now I can put on you a stamp of approval. Most High sealed, signed, sealed, and delivered. Now he can use me like he want to, because he know I'm gonna go. He said go, I'm like, boom. I get to jogging and say, okay, Pop, which way? Not literally jogging anymore. But I gets to moving, and then he start giving out the orders. Okay, make this left, make that right. Just like a testimony I tell from, well, I don't know if I told it. I believe I told it before. But it's when I was out working, before I had the stroke. I would go out doing my own business, cleaning gutters, cleaning up yards, but mostly I was cleaning gutters because that was real good money. Well, it is real good money. And all you basically need is a ladder, an extension cord, and an electric blower. And see, I like to use the electric blower because I can climb up on the roof with it and blow out the gutters, instead of going there getting my hands all messy. And a rake. And pretty much some trash bags or a tarp. But pretty much a rake. So when you're done blowing it off the roof and out the gutters, you just rake it up, put it in a trash bag. Usually just one or two will do. And there you go, $50 to $100. And I was doing that pretty regularly for a while and was making real good money. Real good money. My wife was in school, she was working part-time. And pretty much the most I was holding the house down with that change we was making from cleaning gutters and cleaning up yards, exterior maintenance, basically. But the gutter part of it was a real good financial benefit to our income at that time. But one day I found myself low on funds, had paid the bills, and was like, okay, I need some gas, but I don't have the gas to get out here to hustle. So I prayed, I said, Father, I need some gas. I need to get to a job, do that job, and then I can get to some gas and fill my truck up. So he's like, okay, let's go. So I would just listen to him, and he would lead and direct me where to go to the certain house. Because just like today, I would work all day, and a lot of people be at work during the time I'm out. So I would leave my car, leave a number, and tell them that, I came by, saw that your gutters needed some work. You need to clean your gutters so it won't turn into a problem later on down the line, which I fixed the gutters also, and I fixed the baseboard behind the gutters, plenty of that too. So here I am riding by faith, saying, which way I go, Father? Because this gas light is on. He's like, go this way, go that way. And I would hit the store. I would hit not only the house that I needed that had the work, needed the work, but the customer was there. And And not only were they there, but they said, yes, do the work. I need the work done, go and do it. And then I will make it to the gas station. But see, this was all done through faith. And no, faith is not easy. And no, I didn't want to get stranded somewhere and not have the gas. Because of course the Most High led me across town or a long way away from home to where I would really need to trust Him for His guidance into the right place. But He never failed me. That's happened a few times. And it taught me how to listen to His voice at that same time and follow orders. Because it was totally, I don't want to say at that time my life was dependent on it, but it was. But then when I had that stroke, I already had learned His voice. When my life did depend on it, I could already hear His voice and know and distinguish what He was telling me from what the enemy would tell me or my own inside voice thinking. So if you're in a situation today that doesn't seem so pleasant, like I said in the prior recording, get happy. Praise the Most High, honor Him, thank Him for the situation you're in, because just as the text says, when you're in them situations, count it all joy. Count it joy. That He's working it for your good, which He is, because He knows you need this faith built upon you. So tomorrow, when you get in a certain situation, He already built on that faith, so you're in a good place to trust Him no matter what. You already trust Him. That's gonna be my time, family. We'll say today, no matter what's going on, trust Him. No matter what's going on, trust Him. But that was Job's attitude. I love y'all. Let's get back on this ride. Stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom. Family, as I was finishing up my ride, I saw something that really disturbed me, but the Most High was able to use it to give me a thought concerning this idea for today. And it's don't try to skip steps. Oh boy. Don't try to skip steps. Because a lot of times the Most High have you going through some tests and trials, and you want to skip that step to try to ease the pain. Pardon me. And what I saw, family, was a bench that they had put on the bike trail by one of the man-made lakes. So you can sit down by the lake on your walk and enjoy nature. However, they had just planted a tree beside the bench. So I'm presuming that you can come and sit by the shade tree and really enjoy nature in the shade, not in the hot sun. However, family, the reason this puzzled and really upset me is because those folks skipped some steps. And the steps they skipped was what you call putting some stain on the deck, on the bench. So the bench had already started wearing under the weather from the water and the sun beating it. So it probably wouldn't even be worth nothing in the next, probably this winter, they're gonna have to come back next year and swap it out. Because what happens is that wood is gonna bow and therefore start cracking and coming loose. Because right now nobody wants to sit on it because it's weather beaten and it will probably stain your clothes. When all they had to do when they installed that bench is to put a light stain on it, and that would have protected the wood. But no, they skipped steps. They should have really stained it before they put it out there. That was the first move. And then installed it and then planted the tree beside it. So as it goes now, it's gonna be a tree out there, a nice sitting tree, shade tree, with no bench. Or will be a bench, one that they will have to replace. See, I see stuff like that because of the work I do. And I just did a staining of a planter that I assembled for a customer last month. And of course, because I see work, I told him, you do know that this planter is not stained. You need to treat it so it won't be wore out. And they said, well, Robert, you can go and do it. I said, I sure will. I'd come back and do it. The next job. We'll make that the next job. And see, I see money like that, just like I be riding, and I was telling you about the gutters. I ride through a neighborhood and just be counting the money I'm gonna make. Oh boy. Or possibly could make if the customer agreed, and 9 times out of 10 they say, yeah, go and do it. Because they trust me. And that comes from knowing what you're talking about and being what's the word, confident in yourself and looking at a person straight in the eye. And I would take the same approach every time I go up to the porch, ring the doorbell, knock on the door, step back off the porch and look up at the customer so they'll still feel empowered. Because I'm a big fella, they be like, that's a big boy. I'm not even opening the door. But I learned that a while back. And, you know, look up to them with confidence right in the eye and tell them what you're there to do for them. Tell them what they need and tell them what you can do to fix that need and how much it's going to cost. And I always tell them that they're saving money, because if you let me help you today, you won't have this problem here tomorrow, which is going to be much greater. Praise the Most High. I just had to share that. Don't try to skip the steps. And see, that's just like with me in my rehab. I could have tried to skip steps in that process, but would have ended up on my face, which I had 1 or 2 times I failed. Thank the Most High I didn't get hurt, but I still failed just the same. Being too fast. Because like I said, I had to learn how to walk again and talk again. And that's a tough process, but it's one that you have to go through with the instructors and the instructions they give you. And it's the exact same in the spiritual walk with the Most High. We can't try to skip steps to get further along than we are, thinking we need to be further along than we actually are. No. Slow down. Slow down. See, a lot of times we gotta slow down and just put your head down and go through the process. That's what I would say on that bike. A lot of times you just gotta put your head down and pedal. Cause you hurt. And just like today, I wanted to turn around as soon as I got out there because my foot was hurt. But I had to remind myself, this same foot, oh boy, I pushed 12, 13 miles on this same foot, on that bike. So ain't nothing changed. Get it together. That's what I would tell myself. Get it together. You can do it. Don't cry about it. Just do it. Then go home and soak that foot and get over it. Praise the Most High, family. I just had to share that. No matter what's going on, trust Him. Because he got you on the wheel. Oh boy. And don't nobody like that wheel where they pushing and pulling and tearing off and just like this diet. See, we're people of habit. We don't like switching up off our habit, especially when the habit is not good for us. Oh boy. And we like what we're doing. We like that ham, that honey baked ham. Uh-oh. We like that hickory smoked bacon. Uh-oh. We like that pepperoni pizza. Oh boy. Trust me, I'm talking to myself. See, we like these things that's not good for us. However, we have to start wanting more for ourselves, like the Most High. He definitely wants more of us daily. Ain't gonna push us to go further, to go higher, and to desire more. But at the same time, we gotta trust Him and that He knows what He's doing. We can't try to skip His righteousness, His way of doing things, His path for us. And that's a big mistake. That's a big no-no. Because the thing about it is, He's in charge. If we have truly, in fact, made Him the head of our lives. Shalom, family.